Hello, I'm Graham and I hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome to today's video, which is a review of the new 32mm F1.4 EF-M lens for the Canon EOS-M series of cameras. Now, it's the second in the Prime series introduced by Canon. The first was the 22mm f2 lens, a nice sharp lens and ideal for landscape as it gives you that sort of 28mm effective focal length. Now, this one is the equivalent of 50mm f2.2 in full frame terms, so it's a nice general purpose lens. The fact that we've got a nice bright 1.4 light gathering capability is ideal with this lens. And you see from some of my sample images shot at f1.4, the centre to edge definition is superb. You can't tell any difference really between centre and edge. And I can't see any chromatic aberration in the shots either, so when you look at the images from the camera you'll see it is a superb lens, and so it should be. For the price of this lens in the UK is a pound short of £499, and that's $478 in the US at the moment. Now, unfortunately, like the 22mm lens, this lens doesn't feature in-lens stabilisation. So if you're going to use it for video, you're reliant on the electronic stabilisation of the EF-M cameras. So that does tend to raise the issue about jello and the fact that you get a lot of artifacting when you're starting to move the camera around. So ideally, if you are going to use this for video, especially if you're using it for 4K video with the M50, then you really need to lock this down on a tripod. Otherwise, the image disturbance through the codec is just awful. That's the only way I can describe it. But if it's locked down on a tripod, like my previous video that I shot with the M50 and this lens, it gives you some superb results. There are image stabilized lenses in the EF-M lens, so why Canon didn't employ it in this, which has got a 50mm effective focal length? So really that should, in my book, start to be looking at image stabilization. Even handheld in stills, you're going to be using a 50th of a second to overcome any handshake with the camera. So really, we should have had image stabilization, and at this price point as well, I think image stabilization would be a desirable feature. The focus is by fly-by-wire, of course, but that is responsive very nicely to the change in position of the focus ring. It's a non-rotating lens, so if you do have square filters fitted to this, if you are changing focus, then the lens just extends and goes back, it doesn't rotate. Filter thread is 43mm, so you need to employ 43mm filters, or as I do, I use a 43 to 52mm step-up ring and use my other filters from other cameras if I need to use filters with this particular lens. Now, it does feature a switch on the side, and first of all I thought that was going to be image stabilization, but unfortunately it's only to give you a faster autofocus speed. It limits the range from 0.5 of a meter to infinity if you want a very fast autofocus. If you put it in the full position, then obviously the lens will cycle from its 0.3 meters all the way up to infinity. Now, the lens itself features a 7-blade aperture, and you can actually see that shape in your highlights if you look closely. Bokeh is very nice and smooth. You can see from some of my images where you've got highlights in the background. The rendering of that outer focus area is very nice with this particular lens. Now, it is a plastic and metal lens, as is most of the lenses in the EF-M range now. So we've got a metal body, metal mount, but the front element is plastic. Now, it does feature a bayonet, so you can actually put on a lens hood, but it's not supplied out of the box with the lens. It is an accessory, and Canon want £24 for it in the UK, and at the moment there's no third-party manufacturers that I've found that have actually produced a lens hood for this particular lens at the moment, as it's so new. To my mind, at this price point, we should get a lens hood and a pouch with the lens to protect your assets. So there we are, that's my review. Following now is a series of images and videos shot with this particular lens on the EOS M5, and the video was shot on the EOS M50, just to give you an idea of the 4K quality with this particular lens. So, as usual, thanks very much for watching. Please do take care, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Goodbye for now.